This is our high. Barbara says 21 degrees. I said 22 degrees. And of course, Nick Plews over in the UK, he said 23. I don't think either of us are going to get anywhere near close, to be very honest with you. Thursday, June the 1st, pinch and a punch for everybody. Well, everybody in this hemisphere anyway. Everybody on the other side of the world to say last month right now. It's not funny. But having said that, believe me, let me do this.
Galaxy 107fm.
That's right, you're right here at Galaxy 107fm. So very, very happy to have you on board. Boom! Look at that. Changed the shirt. Nice. Yeah, just moments ago we were talking to Marie Shea coming out of Texas. What do you know? Within minutes, not like a pre-prepared TV dinner, we're wearing Marshall Potts' t-shirt, just like that. Believe me, wardrobe do very, very well. They really, really do. Yes, you're right here at Galaxy 107fm. So very, very happy to have you. Literally, why not sub-thumb bell thing? You know, sub-thumb bell, bell notifications when we have important people, much like Marshall Potts joining us today, coming out of Cantaloupe in British Columbia, off his farm too, by the way, not out of the car like he used to. He's got his whole network going on right now, which is brilliant. Why not subscribe? Become part of the family. We call it The Noise here at Galaxy, simply because it's growing exponentially. It really, really is getting loud these days. And believe me, everybody's loving Marshall Potts right now. They really, really are. So much so, we had to get him back. Yes, we had him about a month ago, but we had to get him back because, believe me, he's got such great music and so much more that we need to be able to cover and get by. So we're going to kick it off with Let It All Go right here at Galaxy, brand spanking new. Dear, oh dear, oh dear. So, Chris Andreas is joining us. Todd Zala.
Yeah, hi Todd, nice to see you again.
Yeah, nice to have you on board, Todd. Sheila Johnson's back again, nice to have you back. And Cheryl Schofield, Koro Dowie, kia ora, my friend. It's nice to have you back, it really, really is. Been a while, we must catch up at some stage. Today we're talking to Marshall Potts, and believe me, such a very, very talented man, he really, really is. What sort of tractor are you driving?
It is a Coyote. It's a 53 DK 5310.
Okay, never heard of it, but I know what a coyote is. It's a dog, isn't
it? Yeah. We've got lots of those around here.
Yeah.
No, it's made in Korea, I believe.
Okay, I thought you would have been a John Deere kind of guy.
Yeah, I sold my John Deere and I bought this one.
Okay, fair enough. I go back to the days of the
I like them both.
Believe me, the very first tractor I ever drove was an International Harvester with the steel seat with the hard spring kind of deal going on. You know, you'd spend a day on that thing, and I used to mow football pitches and stuff like that for the schools. You tend to get a sore bot with those things. Gosh. But, having said that, my father took me to an old tractor show once upon a time and got to know exactly where the origins of tractors come from, right back to the days of the old steam jobby. You know, that would have been an uncomfortable deal, I tell you.
Yeah, and a little bit dangerous.
Yeah, prone to blow up. Change the water. What, while it's still running? No thanks.
Or run out of water.
Graham Hardacre is joining us as well. Nice to have Graham with us as well. It's an absolute pleasure to have you, Graham. It really, really is. Yeah, honestly, when you do decide to head over to the UK, we have got the dude for you to hook up with. We really, really do. His name's Nick Plews.
Oh, awesome.
And Barbara's going to introduce you because, believe me, very talented band in their own right.
He's just logged in.
If you're going to do, has he?
Yeah.
Look at that, we're talking about the man, he's logged in right away. He's got that hearing thing going on, I tell you. But believe me, brilliant band, brilliant man, literally very, very talented person in his own right. And if you're going to do shows, you need this band with you. You know what I'm saying?
Michael
Yeah,
said,
no, it sounds
howdy,
good.
Marshall.
And if Nick comes out here, he can do some stuff with us here in Canada.
Absolutely. Michael Fisher's joining us. He's going, howdy, Marshall. And
Hey, how's it going?
Nick Blues is saying good morning. Gosh, what's the time over there? It must be about almost
12.
midnight.
Yeah, it's nearly
really?
25 to 1 a.m.
25 to 1 a.m.
Yeah, so he's on the same day.
Ooh.
Marshall was still on yesterday.
You know what? Pinching a punch.
Crazy this
You're on the
time zone.
first now. Welcome to a new month, my friend.
Yeah.
Thank you. Good to be here.
That's right, you're right here at Galaxy 107 FM, and so very, very happy to have our very, very good friend of ours, Marshall Potts, is back again. We had a chat to him about a month ago, and he said, you know, we got more new music we got to cover, so yes, we're going to do that. He's coming out of Kamloops. Kamloops, it always reminds me of something you have for a breakfast cereal out of a box, that name, it really does. But welcome back, Marshall. It is a pleasure to see you again.
Thanks for having me. Yeah.
Now, believe me, we're very, very big fans of your music. We really, really are. And Free and Easy, I've got to be honest with you, is just rocking right now. We're playing it almost every morning on the breakfast show.
Oh, well, that's awesome. I'd love to hear that.
Well, you know, the breakfast show is primarily made up of the amount of requests per artist per song, if you know what I mean. And just recently, Marshall, believe me, Free and Easy, I see it almost every morning. It is such a pleasure to have a look at it too. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it's awesome. Thank you.
Absolutely brilliant. Terry Ashley is watching as well. Nice to have Terry Ashley joining us. And now, believe me, we opened up the show with Let It All Go, brand spanking new music here at Galaxy. We have played it, and we have played all of these songs, just haven't said a lot about it because we knew we were coming back for another interview. So, Marshall, tell me about Let It All Go. What's with the lyrics of this?
Well, it's what I discovered in the spiritual journey, which is the Storm album, right? Like, as I described my own sort of coming out of darkness into some kind of light. And really, it's kind of like just remembering who you actually were as a kid. I mean, I think that's the goal. And why you came here in the first place. So Let It All Go is about understanding that you can't hang on to things. You can't hang on to the hurt that people have done to you. You can't hang on to your mistakes and hurt that you did to others, you know. And it's about learning to let it all go. And then when you learn to let go of all the things we hold on to, because when you hold on to negative energy, guess what? You attract negative energy. So when you learn to let go of the negative energy, you can start to, you know, regain something of your original self, and then you can start to attract the things that you came here for, which are all positive. Yeah. And I think in life that's really why we're here, and it's not supposed to be such a hardship. It's supposed to be something positive. So in a nutshell, that's kind of what it is, and it just describes kind of some of the stuff I've learned. And it's get out of your head and get into the heart space, which is what you do when you record. I know you're a musician, or you're a music person, and you'll notice when an artist is in their head or when they're in their heart space, and that's kind of what it is like for everybody.
You know, Marshall, I absolutely get that. I really, really do. Joanne Beryl is joining us, and she says, Marshall, what's in the mug?
Yeah, well, this is the same thing that was in the mug last time. It's red wine.
Red wine. Yeah,
Cheers.
Good on you, my friend. Believe me, more people should be drinking when they're talking to me. It kind of goes down better. Sandy Homer is watching at the same time. Nice to have you on board, Sandy. It really, really is. Never gets old. Now, tell me about this, because believe me, it's one of the sentiments I have. I'm only 21. This is what radio does for you, if you know what I mean.
I know. It keeps you young.
I've got the perfect face for radio, I do. But tell me about Never Gets Old, because I absolutely love this track.
Well, it's really, it's just, it's a love song in the end, I guess. You know, like I sat down with my girlfriend, and she was on the couch, and I sat down, and I looked at her, and I said, hey, I'm going to write you a song. Let's see if I can do this right in front of you right now. So I just got my acoustic guitar, and I wrote her the song. Kind of exactly, I just wrote all the lyrics exactly as it is now. And in sort of, so that's the individual micro sort of explanation. The macro explanation is that all our souls never get old. That, you know, I don't believe that souls age, and I believe that we're all souls, and that we come here, we live on, we do other things. You know, that's just where I've come to my life. That's where I've come to live. And I remembered one thing that my mom had said to me. I don't know how old she was, maybe 58 or something. And she said to me one time, "Oh, it stuck with me. There's a few things through life that stick, and this one stuck." And she said, "You know, Marcia, I'm still 16 years old inside, you know, and it never went away." So that's in there too. That whole idea that love never gets old, that we never get old as long as we keep loving. And the moment we give up is the moment we start to age and really go inside. So the inside-outside type of experience. But yeah, in a nutshell, that's kind of what it is.
You know, I was talking to another friend of mine coming out of Nashville by the name of Tommy Steele, and he brought out a song once, and he says, you know, Grant, a very wise old man said to me once upon a time that inside every old person there's a young person going, how the hell did we get here? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
that's what I got from my mom, man. She looked at me like, you know, exact same thing. I'm looking in the mirror. It's not really me, but okay. And, but the inside doesn't change, right? And I think this whole album's really about the inside. It's about fixing the inside, because it's all the traumas that make us feel old. It's the weight and burden that we get on our shoulders through life that drags us down. And we got to find ways to let that shit go. Sorry, I don't know if I say shit. Maybe Facebook will shut us down again. But, we have to let this stuff go, because, look, we can't, no judgment, no blame, no guilt, no shame. These are things we can't carry. They're too heavy. And we can't put them on others as projection. And we can't, if we do that, we receive them. So we have to not do that for others and not do it to ourselves.
You know, that's very, very wise. Joining us live is Marshall Potts himself. Yes, never gets old. Oh, dear. Whew, gosh, it's hot in here. It really is. How's the temperature where you guys are? It must be getting up there in summertime?
Yeah, I think we're at 24 today, something like that.
Not bad.
I mean, it's probably what you guys are. Isn't it winter there?
Yeah, it is. It is. And, well, we're actually only 15 degrees right now.
Which is a cool day.
It's a cool day. It is a cool day.
It got to 25 the other day.
Yesterday I got to 25.
Oh, as well. Yes, it did.
Yeah.
When
As
I was
well.
here, yeah.
I know that
That's our
fella.
Yeah,
spring.
you.
Yeah, I know that fella as well. So, what are we growing on the farm?
Growing old, basically. No, not growing that much. I mean, we try to be self-sustaining. We call our, it's a homestead, right?
Right.
It's more a homestead than, we're not trying to make money off of it or anything. So we feed ourselves, and we try to feed our family and friends type thing.
Okay. Yeah.
So, just the standard stuff. We've got, chickens, and we've done pigs and cattle, but we don't have that right now because we had a major fire year and a half ago, I guess it is. And I ended up having to, we put all our steer and process them. So we have, lots of meat and all of that. But we still have to fix a lot of the fencing and stuff before I bring any more animals on here.
Nice.
That's not good to hear.
That isn't good to hear, but
No.
at least it's progressive. You know what I mean? It really is.
Yeah.
But 160 acres, my God. We call a lifestyle block, 10 acres, literally.
Well, 10 acres, you can do a lot with an acre. You can do a lot with a backyard. I mean, people used to can their food, grow their food. They didn't rely on. It was in 1954, I think, grocery stores started.
Listen, Marshall, every time somebody mentions the word acres, it takes me right back to high school, all right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Honestly, I had a young guy who was a bully at high school. He used to try it on from time to time, and I says to him, "So you want to grow up and be a farmer like your dad?" He goes, "Yes." So I kicked him between the legs. Said, "Here's a couple of acres."
Nice. So acres are balls.
Well, they did ache after I kicked them in.
You'll be banned
Well,
from Facebook.
did he stop bugging you after that?
He did. Yeah, he did. And
You find the most, I'm not going to say for everything, but bullies are usually some people that are damaged, right? And they project.
yeah.
So that's the whole thing of let it all go, right? They carry that damage, bullying father or mother, and then the kids grow up bullying other kids.
It is so true. It really is so true. Believe me, a lot of the bullies that we had when I was a kid. You see, I used to box. My dad said, "I'm going to fix this one." He actually bought a boxing ring and brought us brothers up boxing each other. You know what I
Is
mean?
that right? Eh?
So,
yeah, my brother and I used to box.
Well, we
My
took
older
care of the
brother.
bullies. we got to take care of them.
Galaxy.
That's right, you're right here at Galaxy 107 FM, and I'm so very, very elated to catch up with our very good friend Marshall Potts coming out of Kamloops in British Columbia. Now, believe me, absolutely very, very talented man in his own right. He really, really is, and can absolutely kick the house down live on stage. Believe me, take my word for it. Marshall, anything coming into summertime now? Anything coming up as far as festivals go?
We're supposed to be in Scotland in June 24th, and so we're still working on some of the ins and outs of that. So that's the next thing, and we actually haven't been focusing on anything local here. I get a little OCD. I'm a bit OCD, so with all the stuff that we had to do around the ranch, I've been focusing, trying to catch up with that stuff, and then we're gonna do some more stuff in the fall like we did last year.
Which part of Scotland are you going to?
It is the Highlands of Scotland, and I don't know what is that name of the place. I forget, but it's apparently it's an old inn in Scotland, and it's high, one of the highest places in Scotland apparently. So
Okay.
I don't know. It won't feel different to us because we already live at like 3,000 feet sea level. But that's the plan.
Very, very cool, and I wish you all the best over there. I really, really do. As I say, I do have a friend in England who does want to hook up with you as well and do some shows and stuff like that. I think,
Awesome.
to be honest with you, if you catch up with Nick Blues, I think it'd be dangerous. I really do. Believe me, I saw him in the pub the other day with some friends of ours, you know what I mean? He sent me photos, stuff like that, and believe me, absolutely, the man is so talented. That's the problem. He is so talented. It is not funny. So I think you guys are going to get on like a house on fire. I really do. And,
Totally.
you never know. You might be able to pick up a few extra dollars while you're over there doing a few extra gigs.
Yes, for sure. Yeah.
That's the plan anyway, is to
Good.
have you entertaining some English people while you're in the UK. I mean, gosh, Scotland's just down the road, isn't it?
Totally. I mean, I'm Potts. Potts is Scottish, kind of a Scottish origin, right? And my parents were from Manchester, so I'm first generation Canadian.
Okay,
So,
I'm glad it came from Manchester, not Womanchester.
are you allowed to say that?
I don't know. I did now.
I'll find out soon.
Hey, listen, I used to live actually in London, in Piccadilly Circus, and when I moved from there, I moved to a place called Upper Butt. It didn't come as advertised.
Oh.
It really didn't. There really is a place called Upper Butt. I did move there, believe me. I was expecting something a little different. It really was.
So you moved away. You were like disappointed?
Let's just say, Portsmouth was a little more appealing at the end of the day. It really was. Dear, oh dear, oh dear. But I used to work in radio over there and used to work in nightclubs, stuff like that. In the end, I actually ended up going to Hawaii and living on the North Shore and working for one of the biggest nightclubs over there. Weird place back in those days. You couldn't get in unless you had a mask on.
Really? That sounds intense and very eyes wide shut.
Well, yeah, the thing is that they used to do a lot of face painting and some of the creations on their faces, which is amazing to be honest. You get those under fluoro lights, and by about 1, 2 o'clock in the morning, where after you've had a few sociables with everybody, those face paintings sort of start to take their own sort of deal going on, you know what I mean?
Okay. Yeah, I'll take your word for it. But it sounds like a movie.
Yeah, well, believe me, it was a very, very funny place. I don't even know if it's still going, the masquerade, but gosh, it was huge. It really was. Used to pack a lot of people in there.
Cool.
It was good for a change. It really, really was good for a change. Because I was playing as a DJ in London, believe me, a nightclub there called Church, which is primarily for Australians and New Zealanders over there. And if you're English or anything like that, you had to be accompanied by one of us Kiwis or Australians. That's the only way you were going to get in. I was the DJ there for about 3 years, if you know what I mean. Place was packed every night. Really, really was.
Like fun. Yeah.
But I got an offer to go over to Hawaii. I mean, who can turn down Hawaii?
No, that's a dream life. That sounds great.
All expenses paid, got to go.
Yeah.
I took it, believe me.
Yeah, when the door opens, you got to walk through it, right?
Exactly, absolutely, you got to do it. Now, tell me about the change, because I'm telling you about the change I had. Tell me about this, because believe me, this is a fascinating song to me.
Oh, well, awesome. Well, I mean, the change is really kind of what it means. Like, I mean, if you look at the album, you'll see that there's songs with a dot in front of them. Okay, there's a reason for that. You can figure that out on your own. But the change is like, it's really just understanding that, we've got to share, like we're sharing right now. We share, you were bullied and that sort of thing. We share these things. It's a way of letting go, okay? It's a way of letting go of the traumas that we've had, and we can laugh about it. And that's what we should be doing when we're going through these experiences, right? And most of them are childhood, and they just kind of repeat through our life as adults, right? So back to the whole soul never gets old. I mean, we get traumatized, and then if we don't deal with the trauma, we have problems. So the change is about just acknowledging that I know I got to let it go. I know I have to change. I have to change to become the person I think I can be. I have to change to become happy again, because most of us, this is a lovely world. It's a beautiful, beautiful place, right? But it's not. It's heavy. It can be really heavy, and it can be a hell. It can be like the hell on earth. That's where heaven or home comes from. But the change really is just acknowledging that's that we have to change, and together, if we do it individually, together we make a difference.
I'm fully there with you. I totally agree. By the way, Nick Blue says, God bless the church. Absolutely. The place to have been, literally. Here's Marshall Potts joining us live, The Change at Galaxy. So, Marshall,
Yeah.
are you a heavy thinker?
Yeah.
You are? Do you think of logically impossible things?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. Well, maybe you might be able to help me.
I probably won't, but let's try.
Okay, well, we as humans have been able to measure light speed.
Yeah.
Yep. So how fast is bloody darkness?
Well, everything's yin and yang. Everything's duality. So darkness is probably zero.
Like light speed. Literally. Well, here's the question though is, I mean, you got your tractor there, your dog tractor, and you're driving. Light speed through space, right?
Oh yeah.
Turn the lights on, would they work?
Yes.
Yeah, because I don't think space is the way we think of it.
No, neither do I, to be very honest. I don't think you can breathe too well up there. But, you know, it's always... I know the tail lights would be seen forever, but would the headlights work?
Of course they would.
Well,
I don't know. I mean, because from what I understand, but let's be honest, I've never been to space.
Yeah, no.
But from what I've gathered through my experience is that, you know, when you're in space, you can't see light. You can't see the sun, you can't see stars.
Believe
And they
me,
only show up because of the, I guess, the glass that people are looking through.
look, I think Houston are looking for me to go into space because they think I'm a mistaken rhesus monkey. I'm the one that got away. Dear. Okay, here's one for you. If your legs could bend in the opposite direction at the knees, can you imagine how interesting chairs would be?
You've lost me. Cheers?
Chairs.
Cheers? Just to go in cheers, you mean?
Yeah. So how interesting seats would be if you could bend in the opposite direction.
Oh yeah, that's true. Yeah, that would be a good party trick.
Yeah, it's like having your sex organs in your left hand or your right hand.
Sure, now
Could you imagine shaking hands with people? You would be very careful about that.
Totally, behave yourself.
Hey, not once have I mentioned Stairway to Heaven. I can't get banned. Oh, now maybe I can.
No swearing. This is a child.
I didn't swear. No, I didn't swear.
No, he said sex organs.
I said
Yeah,
sex
but
organs.
that's swearing.
Yep, that's a keyboard kind of deal, isn't it? You know.
I don't know.
Now you know why I drink the wine.
That's right, you're right here at Galaxy 107 FM. Michael Fisher saying, what's in Grant's mug?
Yes, yes.
Coffee. No, not allowed to drink and drive, unfortunately, just coffee. But believe me, it was an interesting conversation. I got to be honest with you, for those of you that were watching it live on Facebook Live, yes, I did get told off. But, you know, that's part of the job as well, believe me. Michael Fisher says, hi, Nick. Hi, Nick. Nice to have you on board, and nice to have you as well, Mike. Really, really is a pleasure to have you. Now,
Hey, Mike.
Today we're talking to Michael Potts.
Marshall.
I thought I was stuttering when I first saw that, you know, Michael Potts, yeah, you know, but then that kind of took me back to, you know, Happy Days kind of deal. Do you remember Potsy on Happy Days?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Do you remember what his last name was?
No.
Weber.
No, I don't.
It was Weber, Potsy Weber.
Weber. Potsy Weber. Okay, his first name was Potsy?
Yeah, it was.
Okay.
And he hung out with Ralph Malph, if you remember.
Yeah.
And then it was Richie Cunningham and, of course, Fonzie.
Right, yeah.
Yeah, not that I ever saw the show.
Come on, everyone saw that.
Well,
You have your days.
everybody except Barbara, actually.
Yeah, I don't watch.
Oh, really?
Yeah, Barbara never really was into television, apparently, back in the day. She never used to watch stuff.
Sit down
Well,
and
good
watch
for you.
TV.
Yeah, I think she was hiding behind the excuse that she was a housewife and a mother, and she was more interested in doing those things than sitting down watching television.
Oh, God bless her. I mean, that works.
I do.
Yeah, it does. It does. And she's got some very, very wonderful children as well. She really has. They've grown up, and now she's got siblings upon siblings upon siblings upon siblings. You know, it's going to go on for generations now, unfortunately. There's going to be heaps of them running around. It really is. It's a good thing. It is.
That's a good thing. That's a good thing.
Absolutely.
We all got to do that. We come here to be fruitful.
Yeah,
Populate.
yeah, believe me, in the Bible it says go forth and multiply, right?
Right, right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I did that about 7 or 8 times, something like that, and I'm sure there's a few out there around the world that I'm still to find out about.
Yeah. I mean, it's one of the good things about life, right?
Absolutely. It's also one of the good things when you're touring. But
No
apparently,
comment.
well, apparently what goes on the road stays on the road. Yep, and I discovered that myself. I really did. JD on Cat is joining us. Nice to have you back, my friend. It really, really is. Thank you for joining us. Now, tell me about the fall. Now, first of all, are we talking about winter, like the Americans call it the fall, or are we talking about, you know, right over the cliff?
The fall? Well, I mean, I love the fall. It's my favorite season, right? But the fall, the name is kind of, it's not stuck to the fall. It has more to do with something else, a little bit more macro than micro that way. But it's really a song about, it's a call to action, okay? So that where the change sets us up saying, hey, we got to do something about this stuff. The fall says, we can be stronger together, we can make this happen, we can change things, right, for the better. And then the fall basically is kind of like, I wish you could see what I've been seeing. And it's just me explaining that we don't need war. We don't need to have conflict. We need unity. And whenever you feel like you're being pushed in a direction that doesn't include everybody, or including yourself, okay? If you're feeling expelled, then that's not positive, right? So it's just about acceptance, and it's about let's make a change together. Let's be stronger, and let's let the old systems crumble. They're not benefiting anybody, and let's rebuild this from the ground up.
You know, Marshall, I absolutely respect that. I really, really do. Joining us live is Marshall Potts and The Fall here at Galaxy. All right, I'll be good. I've been getting told off everywhere.
I got to come over there and we'll have a beer, and then we can actually yap.
Yeah, well, I tell you what, I would love to have a beer with you, my friend. I really, really would.
Yeah, never stop yapping.
Yeah, but that's the problem. The only time I stop talking is when I got a glass in my mouth. And then the more times I do that, the more I talk. That's the problem.
That's right. Well, you know, it's like a defense mechanism. You don't drink too much.
Well,
You drink a bit and then you talk a lot. You drink a little bit.
Well,
good job.
Believe me, I actually knew a guy who used to be a ventriloquist that could actually drink and do the talking thing at the same time.
Oh gosh, that'd be hard.
Wow.
It's hugely hard. You know, most people would drown. Really, but
True.
he actually could pull it off. His name's Seinfeld.
Yeah.
Yeah. Literally. You know, Ted. Yeah.
If he was on TV, I know nothing.
You got in touch with him not so long ago. He does
Oh, that
puppets.
man with the Oh, the teddy bear. Yeah, he's a snob. He didn't want to know.
He's a snob.
He was.
Did you tell him that you were connected with me?
No.
Oh, that's why. I did a few shows for
There's
him back in the day.
no room for snobbery in life.
Ah,
That's judgment, right?
it is. It is. Basically, it is. Yes. Timothy Stanton Dial is watching. Nice to have Timothy back. It really, really is. So, you got any good jokes for me, Marshall?
Oh my God, no. You know what? It's funny. I'm driving the tractor and thinking I should learn a joke because I know he's got a bunch. But no, I've got zero. In fact, I came up with a really bad one while I was driving, but it made no sense, and I made myself laugh.
Oh, well,
Fair
we
enough,
tell
well,
it,
you know,
but
at
we
least
need
somebody
to
was-
hear that.
Yeah. Well,
Totally, it happened. It's a true story.
as I was saying to you before, I like to think of impossible things, right?
Yeah,
Like
okay.
Tarzan, for instance. Why did he never have a beard? I mean, it's not like he could go down the road and get some razor blades. He was always clean shaven. How the heck did that happen?
Yeah. Someone like Facebook today back then was like, "You can't have a beard. That's too aggressive." I don't know.
In the bush? I mean, okay,
I know.
Lord
It makes
Greyskull, Greystoke, whatever, I get that,
Yeah.
but, you know, not in the bush. Gosh, you've got to have a beard, literally.
You got a big beard.
Yeah, absolutely.
I'm gonna grow. I love your beard, and I'm gonna grow mine out eventually.
Nice.
I was going to trim it today.
Barbara wanted to shave it
Yeah, I
off.
was going to shave some of the side off.
She was
Just
going
the
to shave
side,
some
not
of the
the
sides
length.
off. Okay. I'm not letting you near sharp objects in my face, Barbara. It's just not going to happen.
Look, I bought a thing to trim your
You've
beard,
bought a thing to trim
Temptation.
and
them.
we haven't used it yet.
No, it's been there for what, 3 years?
Yes.
That's right.
Yes.
It really has been.
You never know one day, guys.
You never know. But, I mean, here's a question for you that you might want to think about. In the Second World War, the kamikaze pilots from Japan, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, why the hell did they wear crash helmets?
It's called a false sense of security.
That'll be it. That's right, you're right here at Galaxy 107 FM. Tony Ramos is joining us. Nice to have you back, Tony. And Dale Hammond. Hello, brother man. Nice to have you back as well. Believe me, today I'm really, really excited because Marshall Potts is joining us. Nick, that's sad. That's a sad joke. Look, this comes from Nick Plews, right? 2 lads in our village were arrested earlier today from stealing a combine harvester.
Oh.
They're getting bailed tomorrow.
You know, I should have said that one, Nick. Thank you, man. You saved my ass.
It's worth a clap. It really, really is. Well done. Oh dear, Nick. That's sad. It really, really is. Oh, my goodness. Now, I know we've done this before, my friend, but I think we should run through it again. As a fan, how do we get hold of you, Marshall? Are you on Facebook? Are you on Twitter? Are you on Instagram? Are you a talker? But more importantly, do you respond?
I do respond, yeah. Because really, like I said last time, I feel like I'm here to do something. And the music, I love music. I would have done music no matter what. But I feel, especially at this time in the world and all that's been going on, I do believe, like in my soul, after I woke up, I began to understand that creativity is how we all evolve, and we share the creative side of us is more important than, or maybe not more important, but just as important as the clinical side of us, and we need to interact in that way. And when we can't, like thank God there's people like you that actually get indie music out there, because people have something to say, and often we reflect what everyone's thinking, and it's a way of just kind of healing each other at the same time.
You know, Marshall, I get that. I really, really do. Got to let you know, though, unfortunately, we have to be brutally honest about things these days. We would love to be able to play everybody. But
Yeah.
poor Barbara, she's getting between 150 and 200
Oh,
bands a day, artists of all walks of life. So, and we only have a certain amount of time in a week to be able to get these in, if you know what I mean. So we really, really have to be brutal about it, and we only take the best of the best. Of course, Marshall, you're right on in there, to be very honest with you. And
Thank you.
we
Appreciate
love your work. We really do.
Thank you.
Where do you get this recorded? Do you have your own studio, or do you go into a studio to get it done?
I've got my own studio. That's what I'm sitting in right now. But we go into a studio. Yeah, we go. We did that album in the former Little Mountain Sound with an awesome producer named John Webster, who is he played. Well, you may not know. He's Canadian artist called Tom Cochran, and he's part of the his band basically, or was for many years, and he's played with everybody, Aerosmith, you name it. He's played with a lot of the old rock guys, and Michael Bublé. I mean, he's an amazing keyboardist, and he has a sense, like, he worked with all the major producers, and I know you know a few of them, and he picked up on all what they do, and I think he's a big part of why this Free and Easy and other songs sound so good. Yeah, I mean, that's what we do. I mean, we're going to do that again this fall. We'll go in and we'll have our new single for the next album out in November, I think. And the next album will probably follow in January.
You know, that's exciting. It really, really is. It may just mean that you're going to subject yourself to another bit of this in the near future. We would love to have you back again. We really would.
I'm glad you guys talked to me. I appreciate it, man. I really appreciate it. Thank you.
I got to be honest, yes, I've heard of Tom Cochran. He is a legend in the music industry, so I know who you're talking about, believe me, and would love to know more about your friend and his career as well. Joanne says, Nick, please, ha ha ha. Somebody laughed at your joke, Nick. My goodness.
Oh my God.
There's hope
You should mark that on your calendar. That's a win.
Well, there's a hope for me yet then, believe me. Dear,
I laugh at all your jokes.
Yeah, I know, you're polite. Thank you. It's nice to have somebody so polite. It really is. Tell me about the rope. I hope you're not at the end of it.
About the what?
The rope.
Oh, the rope. Are we playing the rope? Awesome. Well, rope is weird. It's a weird song on this album, but it's important because the rope is really about justice in a weird way, but also about false justice, and it's a desire to be saved from someone you love in the end. And it's weird because I wrote that song and I was like, okay, I'm probably going on too long. Sorry. But I wrote this song and I was thinking, like, really, what does this mean? And then we were in France, and I met someone in France that told me a story about, this is what I mean about souls don't get old. Told me a story about him having a reincarnate, or where you go back and what do? They hypnotize you, and then they talk about a past life, right? And then he's telling me it's like 3 a.m. in this old hotel in where were we? In Cannes. And we're sitting in this beautiful old hotel, and he's telling me the story, and he's now my friend. And he said, I got regressed, and they told me about this past life, and basically I fell in love with this girl who I met on the shore of a lake, and she would come, and I was living there, and she was like, hey, this is my husband and I's property. You can't be here. And this is the first time I'm talking about this, by the way. And then the story is that basically they start to fall in love. She's very young. He's an older, sophisticated man in the town, and they fall in love. And then the sophisticated, man in the town that owns everything finds out, and then sends some goons to try to kill him on the beach or on the side of this lake where he's set up shop. And he defends himself and kills one of them. And because of that, he gets arrested and is hung for killing someone. And this is what he's telling me, and I'm like, totally, this is the rope, man. I just totally figured it out. And he's like, so he wishes that this woman will come and save him because she knows the truth about it all, and he's waiting for her to come and save him, to tell the truth of what happened, type thing. And how that ends, I guess. In his previous life, he was hung for it. In this story of the song, no, he wins.
I get that. I really, really do. Believe me, Barbara is a big believer in past lives and stuff like that. She talks to me quite a bit about stuff just like that. So I fully understand where that is coming from. In the meantime, you're right here at Galaxy 107 FM, joined live by Marshall Potts, coming out of Kamloops, British Columbia. Here's the room. Yeah, Barbara's a big believer in that kind of deal, literally. In fact, I was talking to an artist not so long ago, and I says, when you pass away, some people see the light, right? And he goes, yeah. I says, I had an accident when I was younger, literally, and I spent 18 months in hospital, and I'm not kidding, because of it. But when I was being rescued, all I could see was this light, right? And I thought, oh my God, I'm dying, I'm dead, or something to that effect. And out of that came these guys in fluoro orange tops, jumpsuits and white hats. It was actually a helicopter above me, and it was snowing at the time. It just looked like a vortex, you know what I mean?
Wow, yeah. Wow.
But my mate that I was talking to, he says, Grant, a lot of people see that light. And I went, yeah, they do. He says, just imagine, you're dying, but then you're being reborn again. You're going through one door and coming out the other.
Yeah, it doesn't stop. Yeah.
Okay. That's an interesting concept. I don't want to go through puberty again.
No, I know. Isn't it a hassle?
Oh.
But, maybe there's different worlds where it's not so horrendous.
Oh, now you're getting into galactic on me.
Oh, yeah. Well, it's a multiverse,
Yeah,
right? It's quantum. Everything's quantum physics. It's all about that. It's all choices, right?
Okay. So, I see videos all the time of glitches in the Matrix, like a plane that's flying but not going anywhere.
Yeah, I've seen
or a bird that's flying and not going anywhere and stuff like that.
Well, zeros and ones, man. I mean, everything's duality, everything's zeros and ones. Everything is, we have a universal language, and that's called zeros and ones. It's machine language.
It's binary.
So what does that mean? Is this reality or is it not reality? Well, the point is it's reality for us, so it doesn't really matter. And it's about your choices. It's like, if you're going to play a game of whatever you're playing that you're into, are you the good guy or the bad guy?
This is very, very Matrixy of you, my friend. I'm starting to feel like Copper Top.
Hey, wait till I have another wine. It'll get worse.
I got a friend of mine whose real name literally is John Smith. I'm not kidding you.
Are you kidding?
No.
Does he wear a suit?
Only to funerals.
Yeah, I'd like to meet him, but not really.
Yeah, no, I'm not kidding. His name is John Smith. Dear. He actually works on trains.
Right.
Yeah. I did actually say to my friend John Smith that I want to take him to a massage parlour just to see what their reaction would be.
How does that work? About his name?
Yeah, believe me, there's a lot of Johns go to massage parlours, my friend. Last name Smith.
I got you. Now I get it. Yeah,
he says, that's all well and good. That's all well and good, he says, but I got the driver's licence to prove it.
He's a lucky man.
Yeah, he is, believe me. There used to be a TV show here in New Zealand with the real John Smith, Please Stand Up. And he was on it. He really was. He really was.
Wow.
Unfortunately, I was on another kind of TV show.
Did they have masks?
No, but believe me, I wish I had at the time, to be honest with you. No, it wasn't Police 10-7 either, by the way. It really wasn't. That show's finished too, by the way. After many, many years of being on television in New Zealand, what a great show that was. I think they've retired the show, which is a shame. It really is. I thought they would have carried it on with new presenters and stuff like that. Maybe not. Like Country Calendar. Is that still going as well? It is?
Yep,
My goodness. I'm showing I never watch television. I'm too busy with radio and stuff like that. Today, unfortunately, Marshall, we're going to have to wrap it up right now, but we'd love to come back again. I know that there's a couple there that we still have yet to cover, and we'd love to be able to catch up with you with those, but we might collate them together, so we got a few more coming up, and you were mentioning that you got new stuff coming out in the near future, and I would love to be able to talk to you about that. Now, do you have any idea, are you releasing a new album anytime soon?
Yeah, it'll be January next year for sure. But we're trying to maybe bring it out in Christmas this year.
Very nice.
You know, it's independent, right? So the safest time to release anything is in January, February, when you're up against all the major albums. So that's probably what will happen. But we'll have the single. The single will be out in November,
now,
December.
You mentioned Christmas as well. Do you have a Christmas track?
Yeah, well, I've done a couple, just because I love Christmas, it's part of growing up, and some of your fondest memories are like, oh, the world is perfect for about 2 weeks. And, so I did do a couple. I always, I take them off the internet and I give them away for free around Christmas.
Well,
I think I'm up to 3 Christmas songs now.
You're going to have to pass those on to me, because we do have a Christmas show. Literally, we do the 7 days of Christmas here at Galaxy. Literally, know, and it's nothing but Christmas music for 7 days. I feel sorry for our listeners, I really do. But there's a couple of days lead up to Christmas, then there's Christmas, and a couple of days after Christmas. Don't forget, on the other side of the world, they are still a day or two behind. So 7 days of Christmas, it kind of works out that way.
Sounds good to me. I'll send it on.
Please do. We would love to include you in that show. Literally, we really, really would. And you're such a huge talent here at Galaxy. We love you, and we would love to have you back again. We really would. Again, we want to be able to hook you up with Nick Plews, who is currently watching. Couldn't think of a better person to have your side in the UK. Really, really couldn't. He's an absolute gem. So Barbara will make sure that happens for both you and Nick. In the meantime, my friend, take care, and looking forward to catching up with you again in the near future. Don't go anywhere just yet, because you know what comes next? The crazy photos thing, the backstage thing, and as I say to everybody, when you get your movie, show it to people you don't like.
Okay.
Winston Pollock is joining us as well. Pleasure to have you, Winston. It really is. In the meantime, have a very happy and successful day. Long weekend coming. So, Barbara, we'll be back with more interviews next Wednesday. Yeah. And I presume we got some very, very exciting artists then too. In the meantime, take care. Have a very happy and successful weekend. And we will see you very shortly. Marshall, thank you so much for joining us. It's been such a pleasure. Believe me, I always love catching up with you, my bro.
Thank you, man. Appreciate it.
You're right here at Galaxy 107 FM. Thank you for joining us.
Galaxy 107 FM.